Hello, everyone. I hope that you're all doing well, and I really appreciate all of the hard work that I saw in the discussion. I'm catching up to you in grading, and congratulations with finishing the paper clay and alternative clay project. I am very sorry I didn't realize how difficult that was. I probably should have put that at the end, but I think there was a great lesson within there about resiliency and creative problem solving. And that's a huge part of art. And it's a huge part of both developing your work and your ideas and critical thinking and your creative process. So hats off to everybody, extra gold stars to everybody. You did a fantastic job. Even though the final piece may not match the vision that you had in your mind, in your sketch. Your sketches were so gorgeous. There is still a huge reward to be found in what you have learned and your development and your growth. And that's also a big part of what I look for in my grading. It's not all about the finished piece. Okay, so moving on, it's hard to believe we're in Module 4 and we are past the midterm of the course. This week we may see some new challenges with CTC Link, which is a new back-end platform linking everything on our campus from financial to advising to Canvas to human resources. Coming up next week, you will be prompted to log in for the first time. You're getting a lot of emails about those. Just save those emails. And next week, you'll log in. I logged in yesterday, and it went a lot smoother than I thought. So far, so good. And if anything happens, please email me, and I'll be able to connect you with some help. So for this week, I want to make a big change for our class and just adapt to where we are. And it seems that the virtual class meetings really don't work for everybody. So what I want to do is take that time and share a video with all of you. And that's what I'm creating here today, so that asynchronously at different times when it works in your schedule, you'll be able to get the information. So every week you'll see an announcement from me sharing that information and helping you get started and helping you keep going and new technical things. So this week we're starting our new project, and it's a plate of honor. And the project is inspired by a huge installation piece created by Judy Chicago. And Judy Chicago is a really revolutionary artist. The main focus of her work is really social justice. And she decided to create a piece to honor all of the women who were left out of history. And it's a huge installation. The reading and viewing materials will introduce you to her work and some other things as well. You'll also see some techniques, things about carving, things about adding. We can move right back into our air dry clay. You may need to grab some more clay. If you look and find that you're starting to run short of air dry clay, you may want to place an order so that you have enough time. And that was actually my intention of showing you salt dough, and the recycled clay was so you also had another alternative if you started running out of clay. But it's a little tougher than we thought, and the texture may not quite be as smooth as we like. So it all depends on what you're making, and if you ever make something that you want a lot of texture, that might be really great. Okay, so this week, and we have our reading and viewing modules right here. Okay. There's a special note about CTC Link, and it's all about the dinner party by Judy Chicago. But that's just your starting place, okay? I just want you to see that as an idea. What I want you to do is develop your own plate of honor. So who are your heroes, your mentors, your heroines, your idols, okay? If you were going, to create a piece like Judy Chicago, who would you create this piece for? Or would it be a cultural piece? I'm Native American, and I enjoy working on the powwow every year. And, for me, it might be in honor of the Seminole Nation, which is where my family's from. Or it might be someone from history. It might be Joan of Arc. It might be, Alexander the Great. It might be Queen Nzinga. It might be, I don't know. So the first part, and in your sketchbook, you'll develop who that is. Okay? So, it all starts here with the idea. Okay? And here's the reading and viewing material and many different techniques. It's not that you have to use these. These are options and ideas. Okay? All these different techniques that you can use. The plate can be very sculptural and great. This is awesome. Some folks have already entered their kind of exit ticket. Great. In your sketch, you'll want to start to think about who are you going to honor? What is the idea behind this piece? Okay. And, what elements might you include? Metaphor and symbols, maybe color that you use. So in your sketch, you start to develop your idea. And that's due on the 12th. So I come back out here to the module. You'll see that we have 2 weeks to work on the project. And my grading at the beginning of the course is very light. I'm much more flexible. I give much more grace as people are getting adjusted to online learning. But now you'll see my grades are going to be a little more rigorous. So I'm expecting at least 5 hours per week. And I should see that in your craftsmanship, and I can see that in the final piece. So the investment of time in your work and your process is very important to me. So even if the end result may not, things may happen, if something cracks or a new idea may not quite work as you planned, at least if I can see that you're investing that time in creating, that's still very important for your grade. And ideally, you should be working on the piece over a 2-week process. This is never something that can be rushed. Critical thinking is not something that happens quickly, and creative problem solving is not always a quick solution either. Sometimes you have to pause and walk away and just think for a minute, or maybe even take a nap for a minute and just kind of put it away for a minute and come back with fresh eyes to think of new creative solutions. So that doesn't always happen quickly. I've had some pieces that I have struggled with sometimes for years. I have put a piece away completely and said, I just can't figure this out. And sometimes I even work on multiple pieces. So if one fails, okay, I still have 2 going. And I actually did that with the paper clay project. I had a first piece that didn't come out so well, and then I started working on a second piece, and I adapted and adjusted. So you want to give yourself time. So this assignment takes place over 2 weeks. So this week you should be working on your sketch, your idea, your research, what's it going to be about, who is it going to be about, working on the design, how are you going to build the plate. Are you going to get more sculptural with the plate and have it coming up? Or are you really interested in painting? Maybe it's more relief, almost like hieroglyphics, and you're carving just a little bit and you really get into painting. And that's great too, okay? Lots of creative options, okay? And if you ever have ideas and you're not sure about, is this going to be okay, please put that into your sketchbook, okay? And you can even write a big question mark or something in there, or in the feedback. You can also type feedback to me as you're submitting your assignments and say, I've got this idea. Is this okay? Am I on the right track? Or even, I've got some great ideas too. Do you have any suggestions? Okay. I am also adding an extra discussion into this week, and it's a process discussion. The same as I did with paper clay, where I added just a process submission. Okay. And some of you may still have to come back and kind of add to that because that was a little new, but that will happen for the next projects. And that is also so that at the midway point, so that will be this weekend, that's the halfway point, there's a chance for us to talk, for me to help you, and for the class to help you. And this is also where we're using our critique in a really practical way, where we're giving each other feedback on, okay, and ideas, okay? So a critique that comes before the piece is finished is really, really useful. The final piece is not due until February the 21st. Also this week is the final exam, and I have a weird way of doing this. I'm giving you like a pre-test, and that's the actual final exam. I'm giving you 2 takes on it, and it's all about the elements of art and principles of design, our vocabulary, and the vocabulary for the stages of clay: slip, leather hard, greenware, bisqueware. Some of the vocabulary that's also really important if you're going on to take more pottery. Someday in the future, I'll also be reopening the pottery lab and getting back on the wheel. And a lot of that vocabulary is good to know. Or you might be going on to University of Washington or other colleges and take a pottery class. So your first take is due on February the 12th, okay? And what I want you to do is just look over it, and you get 2 takes. So if you miss the content, you go back and take it again. And you don't have to take it again right away, okay? As we come up for the final exam, I'm going to move that due date. I just wasn't able to create 2 due dates. So you'll actually have until the end of the quarter to get your second take and improve your score, okay? So it's like a SAT, pre-test, and then your post-test. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be giving you a lot of feedback in your assignments and your discussions. Good luck on your sketches this week. Have fun with this. This is a really great project to connect to in many different ways. So I hope that you really enjoy this, and Judy Chicago, and have a great day and take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the discussions. Thank you so much.